softly closed. Our jaws relaxed and open. And we begin to feel that breath in our body, the rise and fall of our belly and our chest. Letting those exhales take away anything that's in excess or unwanted. Maybe we even make a loud breath since no one can hear us. And as we bring our awareness here to the present moment, to what is happening within us, let's make those inhales intentional as well. Breathing in what we need to bring us back into a positive balance. It could be something different every time we breathe in. Or maybe we just know it's the same thing we need every time. Settling into our bones and our body and letting softness fill us. Taking a moment to dig deep for an intention or a focus for today's practice, something we can bring our mind back to if it begins to wander. Finding those words or that affirmation or that thought and taking 3 breaths around it. At the end of that 3rd breath, just bring those hands down if they were raised, and let's begin to warm our neck just gently by turning our gaze or our head, if our eyes are closed, side to side. Moving into an up and down gentle motion when you're ready. And then before we go ear to shoulder, let's do some shoulders. So we're going to roll those shoulders one direction. And then we're going to roll them back the opposite way. Let's bring our hands up to the tops of our shoulders, keeping our chest nice and open. Let's just twist from the spine just a little bit side to side, warming up the sides of the body. One more time. And then placing a hand down, let's inhale up, reach up, just stretch for the first one. We don't need to bend over anymore. Just lift and spread those fingers and then switch sides. Reach, stretch, lengthen. One more time each way. Find a position for your head that feels good to your neck. Last side. Excellent. All right, bringing it back. Let's do 2 arm movements here. Lifting them up, reaching up, maybe moving wrists and elbows, circles. Let's do that again. This time, let's interlace, lift, take that lean to the side. Continue warming the sides of the body. Let's do it one more time. Just a gentle lean. It doesn't have to be your biggest, fullest lean. And then I want you to bring those hands apart and come forward. We're going to wake up that core, leaning out, head in line with arms. Breathing here, and then going back. We're going to do that again. So we're engaging our abdominal muscles, our back muscles, reaching out long through the fingertips. Take a breath, and come back. Let's do that again. Lift up, reach out. And from here, we're going to soften all the way down, whether you're in a chair or whether you're seated on your mat. Just soften forward and begin to wiggle. Stretch that low back. Wake up those hips. Maybe move side to side. Just giving you a good amount of time here to tune into your body and figure out what might be tight or sore. And then slowly slide back up. Let's go ear to shoulder now, gently. And then we're going to wake up those arms before we stretch them. So let's send them out to the sides. Point the palms down to the floor. Make sure you're not creeping up by your ears. We're going to circle forward. Tight, tiny circles to begin. Reaching for opposite walls, warming those arms. Taking in a full and deep breath here. Start to get a little bigger in your circles. We're going to do the whole, we're going to keep going the same direction and keep making them bigger and bigger and bigger and looser until you can get to your biggest spot, and then take 5 rotations. Nice. Shake it out. And we're going to go the other way now. So reaching out, circle backwards, tight, tiny circles. Drawing in a nice full breath. Reach in those fingertips. Start to go bigger. Bigger and looser. Nice. And 5 when you get to the biggest spot. Excellent. Shake that out. Let's draw the elbow across from the shoulder. So we're getting an arm stretch here, and I can also feel it pulling on my shoulder. So I'm drawing my shoulder away from my elbow, and I'm going to involve my neck here now that it's a little warmer. Just moving it the way that it feels good to me. We can take that arm into a deeper stretch if you need to, taking it up and behind, or interlacing your fingers on the back if you're able to do that. I'm not, so I don't usually demo that. And we switch sides now. Opposite arm goes across. We draw our shoulder away from the elbow to get a deeper stretch at your neck. And take it deeper if you choose. And release. All right, we're going to do a few twists here, and then we'll get up and move around. So inhale up, choose a side, twist. You can hold it here for a moment, going a little deeper into the twist if you're ready, or you can just go right back up to center and make it a moving twist as you warm up. Your choice. So faster or slower, as long as you're breathing and twisting, do it your way. Let's go, excuse me, one more time in each direction. And then we're going to go put a hand down next to us and lift the opposite arm up. And this time we're going to lean way over for a big stretch. And just go side to side. I have been working on obliques, the side muscles, all week. And the stretch feels good now. Reach, breathe. One more time. Excellent. And we come back to center. All right, let's go all the way up to standing. So those of you who might want your chair or a wall next to you as we do some things that warm up our legs and challenge our balance a little bit, just bring that into position. We're going to start by spreading our toes, and taking a moment to lift the heel, rock that foot around. We want nice warm and not stuck feeling ankles and feet. So maybe some up and down, some rock back and forth, whatever feels good. Then we're going to change that into a moving chair. So I'm just going to turn to the side so you can see we're going to go up, and then we're going to sink it down however far we're comfortable with. Arms go up, reach, we sink down. Nice breaths. You can add that rock to your feet as you go up. You can lift up onto the ball of your foot and come back, rock onto your heel if you want to. It's It's a little more of a balance challenge. Two more. And now we're going to hold it down into a chair. So lifting our spine up, sitting back into that pretend chair, waking up those quads and waking up our core here as we lift our spine up. Settle our weight toward our heels, breathe. And then we're going to change this into a balanced chair, rocking onto the balls of our feet, lift our heels. Strengthen those feet. Check in with your balance. And release both feet down. Shake it out. Let's go wide on our mat. So we're going to come into another position where we can move it around to loosen things that might be tight or locked. So let's say rock your weight side to side, find the right position, and then do 8 squats. Just up and down to warm those inner legs. Make sure you're in the right position. Feet are wide enough and turned out to the sides of your mat. Couple more. Beautiful. All right, we're going to change this into sunflowers, and I just want to remind you, when we do our sunflowers, we take our arms up, and then we sink down, but we're going to bring our head away from our body. So we're not just sinking straight down, we're actually leaning out as we come down, using and engaging our core and back muscles. Okay, so inhale up, sink it down, bring your head away, all the way down. Feels similar to what we did when we were seated as we came forward. See if you can go a little lower, wake up those inner legs. One more this way. And then we're going to change and add some circles. Okay, so now add some rotation and shift your weight. So we're getting big circles through shoulders and hips. Trying to warm everything up. One more. And now let's go the opposite direction. Two more. And got it. Sink into your best squat. Bring those arms out or bring the arms in. Doesn't matter where you put your arms. Just sink into your best lowest squat. Lift that torso. Knees are going toward the little toe side of the foot. We're going to hold here and breathe. Strengthening those inner leg muscles. And then I need a deeper stretch all around my hips, so I'm going to just pulse it down. You can hold it if you don't want to pulse. And we're going to go into a stretch from here. So we take our hands to our knees, send the knees wide, brace ourselves here. So right away I can feel a deeper stretch when I press my knees out to the side. Then I'm going to take my shoulder and bring it toward the opposite knee and turn my head, getting a neck stretch as well. So the whole side of my body stretches. So do it your way. Get as low as feels comfortable. Take that big stretch, shoulder, inner leg, neck, wherever you feel it. Couple more times each way. time through. And we're going to reach for the floor. Taking our feet parallel, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. You can use the chair if you don't want to get all the way down to the ground. You could put your forearms on that chair if you wanted, or take your head all the way down. Shake your neck out. Let the back of those legs have some relief by stretching. If you're not feeling the stretch here, you can certainly add on by walking your hands over to one side or walking your hands out in front, pressing your heels down, or bending a knee over an ankle if that's where you need the stretch. Play with it. And then bring yourself back to center position, plant a hand under your chin lightly and open up. Now we're going to stack shoulders and we're going to twist. You control the leg stretch by where you place that hand when you put it down. Walking yourself over to the opposite ankle deepens the stretch for the back of the legs, at least for me. Couple more each way. Bringing it back to center. Let's lift up halfway, lengthen through your back, and either hop or heel toe your way so feet are hips distance apart in a forward fold. Holding here. Trying to get the backs of the legs straight. Pressing into something, a block, the chair, the floor, whatever you can reach. Don't just hang. Let's go halfway and really extend your head and lengthen through your back. Make a trench. Open the chest here. Turn the gaze side to side for your neck if you choose. Back down to the floor. Put a bend in those knees. Press equally through each foot. And all the way up we go. Reach for the sky. Stretch. Take a lean. And release. Shake it out. All right, we're going to work on warming the hip flexor, but we're going to do a couple of different things than we normally do. We're going to start with our one-legged balance, so hang on to a wall if you need to, or a chair. We're going to shift to the right. Lift that left leg. Choose an arm position that works for us. And just breathe here for a moment, warming this left hip flexor. You can circle the ankle if you want to give that ankle a little love and make some movement in this stance. Challenging, a little more challenging for the balance. Find your right hand. Bring it to the outside edge of the left knee. Lower your left arm down. You can stay right here facing forward, not holding it up with your hand, just reaching across. You can also challenge yourself by taking your gaze to the left and adding a twist to the left. Whole upper body twists, shoulders all the way down to the belly. And then we're going to slowly bring ourselves back to center and release. Shake that out for a moment. And switch over to the other side. So please hang on if you need to. We want to get that benefit of the twist and also warming that hip flexor. So shifting to the left leg, raise the right one up. Choose your arm position. Circle the ankle if you choose. And of course, we're always breathing. Take that left hand down and bring it across the knee. Bring the right hand toward the floor and begin the twist from the belly. Remember, we're not holding that knee up. We're just resting the hand there for a little more twist, and we breathe. And then we're going to come back to center and shake it out. So we've got one more move today that we're going to do, and that is we're going to lift the leg up, and we're going to send it out in front. So we're trying to straighten it out in front, not just up and down, but out and in, out and in. So you can do this from the chair as well as standing or hanging on to the chair, but we're going to shift to the right leg, lift that left knee up first. I'm opening my chest and my palms face away to give this chest a chance to open here as I do something else with the rest of my body. And then out it goes, straight, draw it back in. We're going to try for 10 of those. Nice. And when you finish, bring it down and shake it out. So I can feel that movement. I hope you can too. Warming that up before we lunge. Shifting over to the left leg, we're going to raise that right knee up, get balanced, and then when you're ready, 10 of them. Beautiful, and bring it down. All right, so nice and warmed up. We're going to get ready for stepping back into some runner's lunge and then working our way up to a higher lunge. So starting in your mountain, come to the front of the mat, spread your toes, feet are about hips distance apart, room for 2 fists. Check in with your lower legs. We want an inward spiral of the shins coming into mountain. We're going to feel that get a little wider in our hips. We're going to engage belly button, core, drawing that belly button in. Maybe we have to tilt our hips forward just a little bit to get in alignment. Shoulders come up, back, and down. Palms face away. Nice long back of the neck as we settle into mountain. Take a couple breaths and bring our intention to mind, our focus that we set. And then on your next inhale, begin the sun salutation with arms up. Working your way down with a swan dive or a reach forward. Coming into forward fold. Halfway lift, lengthen, stretch out. Hands to the floor, left leg steps back, runner's lunge. Keeping the hips level and extending that left leg. We're going to bring our right knee over the ankle. Have our hands lightly on the ground and really, really stretch through that left leg. If you need to rock it a little bit, if your hip flexors aren't warm enough, you can rock it a little bit. When you've got your strength here, or when you're ready, you can also stay here, we're going to move up, coming into a high lunge. Bringing our hands into heart center, doing our best to keep that back heel lifted, that back leg straight, our hips level and pointing forward as we breathe. Continuing to lift the spine, we'll stretch the hip flexor, lengthen the front of the left leg, the hip flexor a little more. Think of the crown of your head going up to the sky rather than pointing forward. That will change that stretch. And then from here, we're going to go into a full crescent lunge if you're ready. Lifting up, opening up the chest, adding a mini back bend if you can. Otherwise, just working to lift your torso and then deepen that left leg, front of the left leg stretch. Beautiful. Let's go back to forward fold and start over for the other side. So rocking it forward. Shake it out in your forward fold. Check the feet to distance apart. Wiggle it around for a moment, and then when you're ready, halfway lift. Extend. and step it back down and step it out with the right leg coming into your runner's lunge. Setting that foundation, that big stretch through the right leg, the distribution of weight equally, movement if you need it. And when you're ready, find your strength and lift up to that high lunge. Lifting your torso, keeping your hips level. High lunge and breathe. Nice. Adding on, take it all the way up to crescent lunge. Open up that chest. Curl your shoulder blades back. Nice and strong. All right, we're gonna go take a plank now. So you can do the plank using your chair if you want to stay upright, or coming all the way down to a full plank, to a forearm plank, to a dolphin arm plank, or to knees down. You got lots of choices for your plank. Engage your core, belly button to spine. Breathe. Two more breaths, and then we're going to take it to a downward facing dog stretch. So from wherever you are, lift up those hips and stretch the back out and the back of the arms. You can move it around. Really dig those heels down toward the mat, stretching the lower leg. Toes can spread for the foot, and you can always take it forward into plank. Bend your knees and lift up and stretch your back through fingertips to sitting bones. Coming into more of a balanced down dog, let's hold it for 3 breaths, getting the stretch in both places, up the back and down the backs of the legs. We're going to take our right leg and step it forward into crescent lunge. So you can swing it forward, lower the left knee, or however you get forward, take it all the way up. Crescent lunge. We're going to bring our hands into heart center, spin that back heel down, coming into warrior 2, nice and balanced. Check the position. My heel intersects my arch of my foot. Maybe your comfortable position is slightly different. Maybe it's heel to heel. But find what feels good to you. Take a big bend in this front leg. Check to make sure the knee is over the ankle and you can see your first and second toe. Just a reminder, if you can't see any part of your foot, your knee is probably taking too much pressure. You're too far forward. And if it's way back here and you can see your whole foot, then you're not aligned on top of your ankle. So work that front leg into position, reach those arms out to the sides, breathe. Warrior 2, strong and fierce. We're going to flip this right palm up and do a reverse. So lift that right arm up, look up at it, bring the left one to the floor, open the left side of your chest, keep that good bend in your knee, breathe. And then we're going to slide over to side angle. I'm going to go elbow to knee, but you can go deeper. You can keep your left hand at your hip and take this left shoulder to the sky, or plug your arm in. You can go as deep as you're ready for. Stretching out this right hip. Keeping your booty tucked. Some of you will want to kick that booty out to get lower. We don't want to do that. All right, right, we're going for that second plank. You can change your plank level or stay right where you were. 8 breaths. Now we lift up to our downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Take the stretch you need now that we warmed up that right leg a little more. Stretch it out. Take the forward. Take the stretch where you stretch your back. Just move it around. And then we'll come into balance together in a moment. So bringing yourself to a balanced down dog and holding 3 breaths. Finding a way for your left leg to get forward into crescent lunge in a comfortable way for you. And then we bring our hands to heart center and we spin that back heel down and work our way into that warrior 2, checking in with that front leg in the knee position. Hips and heart face the long edge of the mat, even though our gaze turns over the left arm. Try to find the center of your stance for some nice, strong warrior 2. Flipping that left palm up, prepare for your reverse warrior. Maybe look up at that hand today. Stretch your neck a little. Keep the right side of your chest open. Keep the bend in the front knee. And we're going to slide it over without kicking our booty out into our side angle, our way. This time, we're going to bring our hand down, flip the back heel up, and rock forward into a forward fold, front of the mat, pressing into the floor, block, or chair. Stretch the back of those legs. Might even work its way up into your low back to get a little bit of a stretch there as well. Inhale, halfway up, lengthen. Create your trench right now, pulling your shoulder bones together. Bend the knees, take it all the way up. This time, interlace those fingers and lift and stretch and lengthen and take a lean to each side when you're ready. And release. Shake it out, grab a drink if you need it. Time goes so fast. Can never do everything I want to do. All right, so I'm going to give you an option here to go through the sun salutation in a full sun salutation or to modify it. So what I want to work on is the arm strength, the lowering down. So you can do full with me, or you can modify by keeping it more from your down dog, forward. You can even take it to your knees, lowering down, lifting up, and pushing back to child's pose if you want, versus going right up to downward facing dog. So you can just do the lower part of the sun salutation. You would do that a few more times, but I want to build that strength. I want to keep those arms strong and our core strong. So you can do more of those, or you can do 4 rounds with me through the whole thing. All right? And if you choose not to do either one for whatever reason, then I want you to find something that can build strength. Do a boat, do a plank, do a big stretch if you need to. So I'll give you a little bit of option, and I'll let you know when I'm on the final round. So those of you going along with me, come to the front of the mat, come into your mountain. Those of you doing it your way, get settled in your position. And we begin. Inhale up. If you're going with me, bring it down. Halfway lift. Back to the floor, step in one leg, then the other, back to your plank. And we're going to lower down, elbows toward the back of the mat, coming into a cobra to warm the back. And then pushing up into your downward facing dog. And stepping that right leg forward, then the left. Halfway up, extend to the floor, bend the knees, all the way up, other side. Now, do it your way. Don't worry if you miss a step. Feel your strength along the way. You might even notice areas that need strengthening along the way. Paying attention to your breath, letting your breath lead your movements. So I'm on my last round. We will meet at the front of the mat in a forward fold. Finishing up and stepping forward into your forward fold. Take our feet a little wider than hips distance. If you're ready for a low back stretch, and reach for opposite elbows, letting your head hang. If that bothers your hamstrings, bring those hands back to the floor. Support that fold for your hamstrings. Inhale, halfway up, lengthen. Bend those knees, take it all the way up. And exhale. All right, we're going to go back to a little balance here. We're going to go tree to standing figure four. So that looks something like knee out to the side, choosing your position. We're going to hold here, then we're going to slide that over, and you can also put your foot down and then slide it over into a standing figure four position. So you might want to hang on to a wall or a chair. You might even want to do it next to the chair and sit for the portion where we put our ankle above the knee. It's totally up to you to make that work for you. We're going to have plenty of time in the pose to get settled into it. So we're going to start on the right leg, hanging on with the right hand if we need to. Left toes, left knee point out. We're going to draw that foot in and choose our level for tree. Floor, like shin, or all the way up past the knee. Hug in now. Very important to turn the knee out to the side and to hug in to find that center line where this right leg is pressing into that left foot. And any arms you choose, even moving arms if you want to make it harder, you can do some snow angels. Find your full deep breath. Just check in with that right leg for a moment and make sure you're not locking out the knee or the hip to hold yourself here. Soften it just a little. Breathe. Two more breaths. And then we're going to bring it down. You can put your foot down and settle. You can sit in your chair and settle. Bring that left ankle above the right knee and work to open this left hip. Standing figure four, Standing cradle the baby, seated pigeon, whatever works here. One more breath. And release. Shake that out. So remember, you can go seated for that second pose. We just want some hip stretch. All right, hanging on with the left side, taking the right toes and knee, pointing them out to the side. We're going to bring that foot in and choose our level of tree on this other side. Finding that spot where we can hug in. Find our balance. Soften the left side. Choose our arm position. Breathe. Snow angel arms are also an option. One more breath here. And then we either put our foot down or choose the position where we can stretch open this right hip, finding our way to our best stretch. Two more breaths. And release. All right, shake that out. Nice job. All right, we're going to work our way down for some stretches. We're going to do it in garland. We're going to do it all in one smooth move, but if you don't like garland, you can also go down and do a butterfly seated, soles of the feet together, knees falling open. If you're going to do it with me, we're going to take our feet a little wider than hips distance. We're going to just try this. Just going to go right into garland. Take your arms up. Sink it down. Find your way between those knees. Feet flat. See how low you can get. If you can get in there, see if you can use your elbows to open those knees a little wider. And of course, if you need to adjust your feet, adjust your feet. Breathe. Two more breaths. And now we're going to slowly work ourselves back to seated. And take those legs out in front. Going to do 5 with our legs together and 5 with our legs apart. If you choose to do all 10 breaths with your legs in one of those positions, that's totally fine. So reaching behind to open the chest and to really plant the backs of your legs into the ground. And then you lead with your heart and add on until you get the best stretch in the back of your legs. It might be that you want your hands behind you the whole time to really press down, point the toes up, or maybe you want to reach for ankles or feet or toes or whatever it is. Here we go. Back of the leg stretch. Now you can stay here or shift your position to the wide-legged version. A little more inner leg stretch, and we're going to take 5 more breaths here. Beautiful. Lift it up and tuck your left leg in. however far it's comfortable for your left knee. So we're gonna take this side stretch. I told you I've been working on those obliques all week. So you have an option here to do the full position, which is to slide your right hand down toward your right foot, lift that left arm up and try to reach for that, keeping your arm above your ear. So you're kind of turning your gaze up to the sky. You're keeping the side of your chest open. You can do that version. I'm not anywhere near to close to touching my toes. You can see, or you can take yourself and square yourself, center yourself over that leg and come down. Find out which one feels better for this lower left quadrant, and then choose that position. We're going to hold it 6 breaths. Beautiful. Switch sides and play with those 2 positions, because your other side might feel differently about which stretch is the right one for you. Try them both for a moment. And when you're ready, settle in, 6 breaths. Beautiful, and release. All right, we're gonna work our way back onto our backs here. Just gonna take a few extra breaths on our way down. So find a position that challenges you to keep your chest open, your back flat, and to really engage your abdominals. We're gonna hold here 9 breaths. Feel your strength as you breathe. Maybe you're shaking a little. That's okay. Two more breaths. Maybe you're going to work your way down faster than I do. All the way down. Draw those knees in and give your back some relief with some circles or a happy baby rock, whatever feels good. I'm going to lead us into a twist here, but if you'd like to do something else, you are welcome to do it. I'm going to take my arms out to a T, drop my knees gently to the right. Keep both of my shoulder blades on the ground as I turn my gaze slightly to the left. Just settling into a reclined twist. And moving it into a little bit of a glute stretch by stretching my right leg out, the one on the bottom, and using my right arm to draw the left knee further over to the side. See if you can get a left glute lengthening stretch here. There we go, back to center. Rolling it out for the low back in whatever way feels good. And we'll go to the other side, and then it will be time for rest. So we drop the knees to the left, arms go out to a T, gaze goes a little bit right, and we settle into the twist. Taking it into that glute stretch, we lengthen the left leg, use our left hand to draw the right knee further over. See if we can get a lengthening stretch through our right glute. back to center we go. You can settle into just a full corpse pose, or you could maybe take a moment and draw the soles of the feet together. One more release for the inner thighs and outer hips in a reclined butterfly. I am going to get up and turn that music on for you for the last few minutes of class. And so you can settle into your Shavasana resting at any time.